Hello, a very good day to everyone. Myself Swathi.P from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. So for today's video, my topic is user interface design and how user interface design works in the Android Studio and how we can implement it in Android Studio. So let us see first we have to see what is user interface design. So the graphical user interface is presented on the computer screen. It is the result of processed user input, usually a primary interface for human-machine interaction. The touch user interface, popular on small mobile devices, or on overlay of the visual output to the visual input. So here we have human hardware and software. We let us see how all these components are useful in the user interface design. So first one is the input, that is a human. Humans can neither input through seeing and hearing and actuators. Those are our hands or fingers. So input is either through keyboard or game board or jack joystick microphone. When the input is given to the Linux kernel middleware, they perform input output loop and produce the output is in either the form of a graphic accelerator, that is desktop computer, mobile computer, video game console. It can either be the output can be either in the form of a speaker, uh, or a visual screen, or even an audio form. So in this way, graphical user interface device design works. The user interface design is nothing but it is the intermediate or a bridge between for the human and machine interaction, which needs to be easily accessible for humans. So user interface designs or user interface engineering is nothing but the design of a user interface for machines and software such as computer, home appliances, mobile devices, and other electronic devices, with the focus on maximizing usability and the user experience. In computer or software design, user interface design primarily focuses on the information of architecture. It is the process of building interface that clearly communicates to the user what's important. UI design refers to graphical user interfaces and other forms of interface design. The goal of user interface design is to make users' interaction as simple and efficient as possible in terms of accomplishing user goals. So whatever we do, we have to see to that it is easily accessible for the humans, that is the clients, and we have to take the feedback from them. In this way, we can build a better that is the applications. So user interface are the points or of interaction between users and designs. There are three types, that is graphical user interface. User interact with visual representation on a computer screen. The desktop is an example of graphical user interface. Next one is the interface control through voice. User interact with this through their voices. Most smart assistants in nowadays, which is it has become a very it has become like a very important uh, resource in many of the places, that is such as Siri on smartphones or Alexa on Amazon devices, which are voice control, that is voice activated. So what the input is given in the form of audio, and whenever we give input to those Alexa or Siri, it replies back to us through the audio. So in this way, it is more efficient for the users to use it. Interactive interfaces using gestures. User interact with 3D design environment through their bodies. Example, in virtual reality games, where they have a few equipments that is needed to actually perform, to bring to life many of the things, which helps the people who are really into the gaming, and which makes them interesting. So graphical user interface using Android Studio, we can create many of the user interfaces or like mobile applications using Android Studio, and even we can use a Flutter. But for today's video, we are going to see how in Android Studio we can perform that. The Android Studio SDK, that is SDK is nothing but software development kit, and in particular project with SDK manager, Android Virtual Development Manager be able to understand the structure of Android Studio project that have been created a simple Android app and be able to manage it within the Android Studio environment. So let us see how we can how we can create and we can perform actions in the Android Studio. So let us see an example. So this is basically the how the Android Studio actually looks. So if you want to create a new file, we can go for file, new project can be created. And if you want to open a project that has been extracted, we can do it by open. And there are many features. Here we can see here we have created activity main.xml main activity, and it has question and answer. This is basically with respect to what the project we have taken. So my project is quiz app application. So to design a quiz app, first we have to see the design part. So xml is actually used here. We can see we basically differentiate them into relative layout and linear layout. Relative layout is nothing but we can say them as it's used for dividing the components, that is horizontal lines are drawn, so it will be easy for the user to distinguish them. And linear can be either given as an horizontal layout. So here we can see a width and height, background color, padding, and here also we can see ID is given so that we can interact with the Java and XML code should both be they both should be matching so that it is created. So the next one, here we can see that we have given color and we have even created buttons. So let us see how they are created here. So here you can see whatever the XML we have given, we have created like that. So if you want to create anything, we can either go to this session, that is the palette. From here we can take the text view, can drag and drop, or if it's not so convenient, you can even go to code and just type the text view. Here you can give all whatever we have to give, and even size also can be taken. So if you don't remember the code, this is the easy way where you can easily take the resources from the palette and just drag and drop here. So in this way I have created this will be the answer A, and these are the options, and here the question will come. So here these are the buttons. So whatever uh, if we run this, we can perform few of the actions, so that will be performed by the Android Studio. So whenever we run this, we can see here we can see it here we can see how it looks exactly. So here we are using, it is a user interface. So now whatever option I give, it takes as an input, and if it's correct, the machine checks after the if it's correct, and if it's false, it will return back like this. So if we want to restart the quiz, we can either do like this. So let us see how we have given the Java code for this. So main activity is here we have given the package is easy my quiz application. So whatever you can give. So here we have created text views, that is total questions text view, to then question text view, and the buttons are answer A, answer B, answer C, and answer D, and one other button is submit button, which performs the action whenever we select an object. So initially we are initializing the score to 0. That is, we are taking the array concept here. So by taking the array concept, the array in array concept, always we start from 0. So now consider that we have given few of the we have given let us see. Okay, we have given few of the questions, like for randomly we have given like which company owns the Android. So and here we have given the correct choices, and here we have displayed the correct answers. So whenever we okay, now there are three questions, and out of these three, if two are correct, the score will be displayed as 1, because we are starting the array index from 0 to 1. So in this way, it has become easy for us to use this. So on click listener, this is the function activity function for performing any of the actions. And here background color is set to 0. And here are few of the, here we can see they are the, when submitted current question index only it takes, and after it's submitted, it loads to the new question, and the score will be displayed at last. So this is the emulator which is used to run, and it displays the actually displays the output of the current problem. So in here we get the in here we can see the quiz application. So here it is launching an app on launching an app is nothing but it's actually installing the app, which we can see through see. So in this way we can perform any of the actions. So whenever when the emulator runs, this is how the display output of the given graphical user interface is done. In this way, in Android Studio, we can perform many of the actions. So here you can see a small example of how graphical user interfaces are there. So you can see the actions performed here. We can see rotating of the torus wheel, and here you can see a sphere, and here it is a teacup. Here you can see just how we perform any actions in our mobile. So in this way, we can perform any of the actions. So Android Studio is a new Android development environment developed by Google. It is based on Intel J IDEA, which is similar to Eclipse with Android Development Toolkit plugin. It is different from Eclipse in many ways. The most basic difference in that we do not have any configuration like that we do in Eclipse. Comes bundled with Android Development Toolkit, and we all need to do is point to where Java is installed on our system software. So in this way, Android is useful in creating graphical user interface. So in today's video, we had seen about the graphical user interface, the main objectives of it, and how it works in the Android Studio, and how graphical user interface is useful for the users to have easy accessibility. So thank you. Have a nice day.